Well, thanks for coming,
Thank you for working with me.
and appreciate you being here. And as you noted, your entrance is timely. So
It is,
tell
true.
us your response to the Hagel thing, and we'll let you say whatever you want to say.
Okay, well, as you know, I didn't think this was a good fit from the beginning. And actually worked behind the scenes with Chairman Carl Levin, with members of the Obama administration, to try to make the case that other choices would have been, I think, more successful. And I was a bit, I waited till the last minute to get here because I was actually watching the press conference at the White House. It was very appropriate. The president made very generous remarks, as did Secretary Hagel. So, they're trying to end it on a positive note. In fairness, it is hard for anybody to be Secretary of Defense for President Obama because of the president's worldview. And I would quote Secretary Gates, who said that the president certainly supports the troops, he just doesn't support their mission. So I think it's going to be hard for anybody these last 2 years to have a good run as Secretary of Defense. Given the president's enthusiasm for leaving hardly any residual force in Afghanistan, given the president's history of drawing red lines and not following up on those strong statements, given the president's, I think, tepid response to ISIS, and inadequate response in support of our treaty allies in their struggle against this neo-Soviet movement in Russia. So I think it's a tough job, and it's going to be tough for anybody. I hope the choice is, given the new Congress and the new Senate, I hope the choice is bipartisan. I hope it's a professional, and I hope it's somebody that can be heard in the inner circles in the White House as an effective voice for a strong national defense.
Apparently, that was a problem with Hagel. He wasn't actively involved in the conversation.
The speculation has been that he seemed disengaged.
Mm-hmm.
But you can read anything in the press.
What generally about his tenure did anything surprise you? Did it
Not a bit.
anything
Not a bit.
surprise you for the good or the bad?
I'll say this: I did appreciate him coming forward and saying that ISIS was a threat to American interest and to the values that most Americans hold on the international scene. I did appreciate him saying that when it became obvious that ISIS was moving in Iraq and Syria. This, in contrast to the president's statement that ISIS was really the junior varsity and not so much to worry about. So I appreciate him at least making it known to Americans that he viewed what's going on over there as a threat to the United States and to our interests.
What additional things should the president be doing in response to ISIS in order to gain the upper hand and push them back, so to speak?
I think in response to ISIS and to Putin's expansionism, we ought to be helping the people who are willing to defend themselves. And there's been a more than 2-year period where I think we could have identified the people in Syria that could have defended themselves with the right resources, and I certainly think it's such a shame that in Ukraine we signed a solemn treaty with the people, with the leadership of Ukraine, asked them to give up their nuclear weapons, which they did, and in return, we assured them on behalf of the United States people that we would help them defend their sovereign borders. And frankly, we just, when the time came, we just reneged on that treaty promise. And then, of course, it's worth saying, it's history, but it's worth saying that that the surge worked in Iraq, that we had an opportunity to leave a follow-on force there that could have provided stability. We had the ways and means, as a State Department and as Uncle Sam, we had the ways and means to negotiate a status of forces agreement, regardless of what was being said by the Maliki administration at the time. And we chose not to make the extra difficult effort to do that. And we used that as a pretext to basically pull out and basically toss away the gains that we had made during the surge. And we are paying the price now. Not only are the people of Iraq suffering from this new threat, but also when we pulled the rug out from under people that have taken our side, then it doesn't help our credibility either. So.